and I am going to be taking you through today's 30-minute mat class. So let me pop my chair to the side and we are going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I am going to start just by breaking down a little bit of what we are going to do today. So for this week's 30-minute midday on the mat class, I have an all levels kind of mat Pilates inspired class. We are going to be using just a couple of props now. Before you freak out, if you don't have the props, that is totally okay. You absolutely can do this entire workout without, just completely body weight, and you're still going to get a great effect, because I have actually had a request to do a class that's kind of centered around neck and shoulder stiffness. And I actually feel like it's kind of a very fitting class for a couple of reasons. First, because I think a lot of people tend to carry stress and tension in the neck, in the shoulders, and we don't always realize it. And like, we'll just kind of naturally start to tense up here, and we don't realize how much that's actually pulling us out of alignment. Secondly, right now, right here, it is October. It is getting cold. And what do we do when we get cold? We go like this and we like just huddle down the street with our shoulders up around our ears. So today's class is going to be designed not only to mobilize the neck, lengthen out the muscles a little bit, but also strengthen the muscles in your neck and shoulders so that you can support better posture more of the time than relying on that kind of hiking of the shoulders when you get cold, when you get stressed. We're going to focus on bringing things down and creating a little bit more space in between the vertebrae. So with that being said, just a quick kind of note, I am going to be using a yoga block and a very light pair of hand weights today. I'm using 1 pound. If you guys want to go more like 2-3 pounds, that would be fine. 5 might be a little bit excessive, but my shoulder tension and neck tension is kind of on high today, so I don't want to do a super heavy amount of weight. But let's go ahead. We're gonna dive right on in with just a little bit of neck circles. So I'm gonna have you lead with your nose. Take some deep breath here and draw a big circle with your nose. And we'll go for 3 in each direction. And you wanna basically just pretend you have a crayon attached to your nose as you draw these circles. And as you do, check in with where maybe you feel the most tension. Where do you feel maybe a little limited in your range of motion? Let's go for 1 more circle together. Hopefully you guys switch directions, because I did. So let's do 1 more just to make sure you guys switch directions. Come back through center, eyes come forward, and let's do a little nose dive. You're gonna melt your head, neck, shoulders down. Bend your knees as needed here. I don't want this to be super stressful. Roll yourself back up to standing. Inhale, look the eyes up. Exhale, let's do that again. And we'll go 2 more here, diving down, down, down. Oh, that already feels so good in the back of my neck, upper back. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful, beautiful job here. Roll yourself right back up to standing. Pop your hands on your hip bones for me, and let's just do a little rotation, leading with the nose. Hands on the hips, look to the right. Rotate your shoulders, rotate your spine, keep your hips center. Inhale, spine, shoulders, eyes. And again, left, eyes, neck, shoulders, ribs, ribs, shoulders, neck, nose. And again, nose, neck, shoulders, ribs, ribs, shoulders, neck, nose. Let's go 1 more, nose, neck, shoulders, ribs, ribs, shoulders, neck, nose. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times. And let's go ahead, if you have your dumbbells today, you are gonna grab them. If not, you're gonna do this next series body weight, and that's gonna be totally fine. We're gonna go into some arm circles. So keeping your feet planted, let's pull the arms forward, open, down, and again. Inhale, and as you cycle through this, I want you to check in with where you're feeling the work. Is it all, keep going up into your traps, or can you get the tops of those shoulders working? And if it is getting a little trappy, if you are kind of hunching up here, maybe take the movement a little bit smaller. That's totally cool. Very, very ironically, a lot of the time, the reason people get neck tension, neck stiffness, stress is a big one, being cold is a big one, but weak muscles are actually also another big one. So when your upper back muscles or neck muscles are weak, they tend to get kind of tight. And then that creates all that misalignment and that tension. Let's reverse directions. And let's be honest, that doesn't feel great. So we can always just make sure we're getting into the correct muscles by starting with the movement a little bit smaller. Let's go 3. And let's go 2. Let's go 1. Hold the arms forward, interlace the fingers, bring the arms into your chest. As you push the arms forward, sit into your squat. And up, we're just gonna do this just to get a little bit warmer, honestly. Let's add in a leg component. Also, neck tension and upper back tension can absolutely impact the pelvis and the lumbar spine, because all that tension in the upper part of the body will undoubtedly affect the lower part of the body. So we're gonna warm up everything here holistically and then get a little bit more specific. Let's go 3 and 2. Let's go 1, hold it, hold down your squat, pulse the arms. Pulse, pull your shoulders back into their sockets. I'll do this on the angle so you can see I'm not rounding, I'm pulling back for 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up tall, bring those arms down. Beautiful job, guys. So hopefully feeling a little bit more warmth and heat through the body, because we are actually gonna take things right down to the floor today. Grab your yoga block and one of your hand weights today. So this is the reason that I'm using something very light. You guys are gonna take the yoga block in your all fours position, pop the block underneath your right hand. You've got the dumbbell in your left hand. Now literally all you're gonna do is push your shoulders so they're in a nice even position, lifting that left arm straight up off the floor, and then lower it back down again. So let's try that again. You just push your right hand down into the block. The left hand hovers just a couple inches off the mat and lower back down. Let me do it to you guys facing you head on, just so you can maybe see a little bit better. So you'll see my arms, my shoulder blades are starting a little uneven, pushing the right hand into the block to lift the left hand up. All of a sudden, my back is even, and lower down. Exhale, inhale. Now, as you cycle through this, you may be thinking, oh my God, this is a lot of oblique, this is a lot of shoulder. What does this have to do with my neck stiffness? Well, let's go ahead, press up once more and hold it. That dumbbell hand, left arm, comes out to the side. Bring it down. Side, bring it down. Exhale, keep going. Now this is one of those movements, if you don't have a yoga block, you're just gonna do it, obviously, with your palm on the floor. Keep going. Exhale and inhale. Let's go. 3 and 2. Ooh, this feels good. 1. Bring it down. Lower everything back down to the floor. Sit back on your heels. Shake your shoulders out. All right, guys, you just switch hands. I'm going to turn around just so you kind of see me from the same angle. Left hand is coming onto the block. Right hand has got your dumbbell. And for these first, let's go for like 6 to 8. Left hand pushes into the blocks to pull the right hand off the floor. Lower back down. So as you cycle through this, you definitely will feel some work in the shoulders. You should definitely get a little bit of that oblique, that cross-body connection. Already lost count, but let's go for about 3 more. And 2. Hold it up. 1, hold it. Open that right arm to T. And lower. Inhale, exhale, just breathe. Don't worry about how high you bring that arm up. You just want to find that long reach, that connection to your upper back. The back of the neck is long, eyes down. 3, 2, 1, lower down. Sit back on your heels and take a moment. Beautiful, beautiful job, guys. Roll the shoulders back for just a second. We're going to leave the block down on the floor for a moment. Grab both your dumbbells. Now, bring yourself up to a kneeling position. I did a very similar series to this last week. I'm going to do this on the diagonal just so you all can see a little bit better. Knees are right underneath the hips. Sit your bum back just halfway. Let your body hinge forward. The arms are going to reach forward. The lower back is long. You're not tucking the tailbone under. Stick your bum out so it's like shooting right down towards the floor. Open the arms and close. And again, open, close. And now you'll notice that my gaze isn't straight forward because that's actually crunching the back of the neck. You want to keep that slight diagonal gaze down towards the floor. As you open, really feel those upper back muscles working. Don't think about gliding the shoulder blades together, all right? Think about expanding the upper back. For 3, oh my goodness, 2, 1, bring it down, come up out of that, angled position, that little half squat position. Sit your bum back down onto your heels, and you guys can put the dumbbells away for a moment. Now this next movement, you guys can either decide to stay on your kneeling position. You could come crisscross, so like crisscross applesauce, or you could even come in seated into a chair, whatever variation feels best for you. You are going to take that yoga block, or you're just going to use the palms of your hands. You're going to pop the yoga block onto your forehead, long ways like I've got here. You're going to take an exhale and let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Now, simultaneously, push the yoga block into your forehead as you slightly push your forehead into the yoga block. Ooh, suddenly we've got a little activity in the front of the neck, right? On your exhale, start to curl your rib cage forward. Feel your sits bones heavy on the floor and curl them just as far as you can without moving your butt bones. Oh my goodness, that feels good. Take an inhale at the bottom and exhale. Lengthen the spine. Hopefully you guys feel a great opening in the back of the ribs. Let's do it again. Exhale, shoulders stay down. You're not pushing from the lower back. You're thinking curl the ribs over your lap. Open up the back of the ribs. Exhale as you unfold, lengthen the spine up tall. Let's go 2 more. Exhale, pushing the block into your head and pushing your head into the block. See if you can fold maybe a little deeper. And sit yourself up tall. Woo. Keep it going. And exhale, last one, curl it forward. Check in that it's the ribs forward folding, not your lower back. Feel the abdominals working. Ooh, biggest one yet. Roll yourself back up to seated, one vertebrae at a time. Now we go the opposite direction. We go into a little back extension, which is just a lift of the heart. Take your gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, lengthen up. And again, just lift your heart straight up. So we don't want to push the chest forward. I know that's tempting, but it's a tiny movement here, guys. It's just a little lift. And center. Inhale, lift. Center. Feel that space right where maybe like your sports bra strap is, or if you were wearing a bra. That space behind you is the muscle you're feeling. You're pushing your head into the block, pushing your block into your head. Last one. Ooh, let everything come down and roll the shoulders out. Maybe you guys felt a little bit of work, maybe a little bit of tension alleviating that. Maybe for some of you guys it felt really, really hard. I know my neck muscles were like starting to get tired. And isn't that telling? Like if this is where you have your tension, isn't that telling that just that little bit of work got the muscles like feeling tired? So maybe neck strengthening, not all that crazy. Let's take this into a slightly different position now. Yoga block is going to come behind your head. Now, just for feedback, I like to place it so it's also kind of resting just at the top of my shoulder blades. If you guys feel more comfortable with it just pressing back into your head, that's totally fine. I just like to have that little bit of alignment feedback. So, elbows are coming forward. Before we go anywhere, take a big inhale. Let the shoulders drop on your exhale. Now we go into extension. Inhale, lift your chest, push your head back into the block. Feel your core pulling inward. Exhale, pull back through center. And again, inhale, press your head back into the block, pull the block into your head. Oh my goodness, that feels so good. Pull the core in, exhale, pull back through center. Keep going. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Eyes come up. Exhale, pull through center. Let's go two more. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, pull through center. Let's go. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Come back down through center. Take the block away. Roll the shoulders out. Maybe roll the neck out. Wow, I already feel much, much more kind of mobile in my neck. So that's pretty incredible. Let's go ahead. Take the yoga block down to the floor now. Where did my weights go? There they are. We're going to do a little bit more strengthening work. And then we'll end off down kind of on the ground with some mobility. So, very nice series. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Just before I let this move on to the next sequence, if any of you guys, especially on that extension, were feeling too much in the lower back, I encourage you to make the movement smaller next time and focus more on the push from the block in your head, because chances are it just means you were moving into the lower back rather than activating those upper back muscles. So I just want to make sure, for anyone who comes back to this video later, that I cued that. Let's go ahead. Oh, choking on air. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get you guys set up for your next series. So I've got the yoga block underneath my left elbow. Knees and ankles are stacked, kind of relaxed. Just make sure you're in a position where the spine can be really long. If you don't have a yoga block, you're just going to do this whole series on the floor. I like the yoga block because it does add a little bit of a challenge, but if you're just not there yet today, that's totally fine. So we set you up, set your elbows right underneath your shoulder. On your inhale, you're gonna collapse everything down, the ribs, the shoulders, everything. Get nice and loosey-goosey. On your exhale, you're gonna press everything up. And again, inhale. Exhale. And for now, my weight's just on the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Exhale. Now, if this is getting uncomfortable at all for the shoulder or the neck, you can always just make it a smaller movement. Make it kind of a micro movement. You can always bring it down to the floor. You can even do this one standing against the wall, and it takes off a ton of the weight from your body if this is just not where you are today. But I want you to be feeling that underarm section, that lat muscle, pressing the shoulder muscles, pressing. Let's go 2. 1, let's see if we can hold it up here. Grab that dumbbell in front of you. Elbow crooks into the ribs. And we're gonna just do little rotation work for the opposite shoulder while you're maintaining this connection here. Almost think about pulling your bottom elbow into the rib cage. Let's go 3, 2, engage the core, 1, lower everything back down. Beautiful job, guys. Come off that that yoga block. I'm gonna put mine over here. I'm gonna have you guys find just a nice strong side lying position. You can pop your feet right on top of each other, pop your arm long and lengthy. I've just got the dumbbell in hand for the moment. Front top arm is coming down on the floor for support. On your exhale, you're just gonna lift that top leg and lower it back down. And again, oh yeah, had to sneak in some hip work today. Also had to give those shoulders a break. Exhale. Let your neck relax. Let your shoulders kind of relax here as well. Keep going. Exhale. Let's go. 4 and 3. Let's go 2. Almost there. 1. Hold it. Make little circles. Way up there with the leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down and pull the knees in. Come on up to a seated position. Let's roll you guys right around to the opposite side. Perfect. Doing just perfectly on time. So once again, you can pop the yoga block underneath your elbow. You can pop your elbow right down on the floor. Knees and ankles are stacked. Melt yourself right down into your shoulders, into your ribs, and on your exhale, press up. Inhale. Exhale. And again, you want to feel that sensation of pulling your bottom elbow in towards the ribs, and that's going to get that lat muscle going. It's a big shoulder stabilizer. Oftentimes when we get that nice hunched up, crunched up neck tension feeling in our shoulders, it's because we may be neglecting our lat muscles. Not always, but sometimes. So it means we want to get a good amount of work going under here. If you're really struggling to find them today, grab the lat muscle underneath kind of like the back of your armpit and see if you can feel that activation. Let's go 2, because we've been here for a while. Hold it up 1, hold it. Grab that dumbbell, and let's rotate. Back of the neck is long. You're breathing, you're trying to create that space between your neck and your shoulders. 3, 2, 1. and lower everything down. Beautiful, beautiful job, guys. Take that yoga block away. We're gonna do that quick hip series, and then I'm gonna show you just a couple more kind of mobilization, stretchy movements that you can use in your day. So, stacking the knees and ankles. I'll use this to ground me just because I had it before. Pull the core in and up. We're gonna lift and lower. Lift and lower. Check in this movement. Are your shoulders creeping up around your ears? Ooh, this is a big one. Exhale. A lot of the time I'll see a whole bunch of this going on, and it just lets you know how connected that lower and upper body are. You'd think this movement would just let your shoulders chill out, but no, your body wants to be like, oh my God, make it stop. Let's go 2. Hold it up. 1, circle for 4, 2, 3, hello hips, 2, 1, reverse, pull your core in for 3, 2, 1, and woo, lower back down. Beautiful, beautiful job, guys. All right, come on up to a kneeling position again. We've done a lot on the mat today, so we're just gonna end off with this. I want you all to grab your yoga block. I'm gonna do it facing this way. You're gonna pop the yoga block in front of you horizontally, long ways. And I'm gonna have you guys come to an all fours position. Now, there are a couple different ways that you can do this movement, but no matter how you're doing it, I want you to remember maintaining activity. So this is not a movement where you should be holding on a lot of tension, but this is a stretch where people really have a tendency to just drop their core and totally lose all sense of control. Today I actually want to teach it in a little bit more of a controlled manner. So bring that L shape between your thumb and your index finger around each bottom corner of the yoga block. Knees are coming right underneath the hips. Pressing your fingers slightly into the block. Start to glide your hips back. Pull the core in. Check in that your shoulders are still away from your ears. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit more of a stretch through your upper back. If you don't make it all the way back to your heels, that's totally fine. I have really hypermobile hips, so they just do it naturally. Slowly push yourself back forward, find that all fours position, and let's do it again. Slowly glide back, letting your shoulders pull away from the ears. Exhale, slowly push forward. And if that feels good for you, you can rock through that a couple more times. For those of you who would maybe like a more intense stretch, you're gonna bring your forearms down to the outside of the block. Palms can face the floor. Knees sit right underneath the hips. You'll start to glide the hips back. Now I have very nice and tight shoulders, so this one is a lot harder for me. Whew, hello. Sink into that nice and slow. Let your neck relax. Push up and out of it. And we're gonna go again. Feel that core engagement sustain as you just slowly glide back. And you know what, my shoulders are a little too tight, so I actually have to take my hands slightly wider than the block. So if that's you, that's totally fine. I'm with you. Push your body back up into a full all fours position. Let yourself sink down to the floor. So your abdomen is down, hands are gonna come to either side. Now, you guys can either push up into a little like baby cobra, I believe it's called. I'm not a yoga instructor, you all know that. But a little baby cobra pose or just a full back extension. Inhale, Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Eyes come forward, shoulders pull back. Exhale, let everything go. Let's do it again. Inhale, lengthening the legs, keeping the lower body just a little bit active. Exhale, come down, lengthen out 2 inches. One more, inhale. Pull the core in. Exhale, let everything lengthen. Let your cheek press down to the floor. Let your arms go down by your side. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let's do one more. Big inhale. Exhale, beautiful, beautiful job, guys. Push yourself carefully back onto your knees. Come to a seated position, however feels comfortable for you. And that is going to be the day. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys feel a little bit more mobile in your neck. Maybe take some of those circles. Ooh, yeah, hello. And see how you feel now compared to how they felt in the beginning of class. This is a great one to do throughout the winter season because it really does emphasize that kind of space between the shoulders and the neck. If you found today's class really challenging, again, it's a good one to come back to in practice because the more you practice it, the stronger you're going to get. We worked on a lot of little stabilizer muscles, so that's always a challenge. Again, if you guys liked today's workout or any of the workouts you've done on here before, because I've got dozens more, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel because it lets me know that you guys want to see more workout videos like this, and it's just very helpful feedback. I will be back on Friday night with another live class. We're going to do an upbeat intervals class with resistance band. I'm not often doing intervals on this channel, so this is just going to be like a fun little twist to get the heart rate up, but of course we are going to include a little bit of strengthening and resistance. So in the meantime, thank you guys again. It was great to see you all, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Thanks everybody.